Hey everyone, welcome to Myth Talk. Today's Myth Talk is on Greek gods, part 1. So we're going to go ahead and get started with Ares, which is the Greek god of war. Ares is the god of war, one of the 12 Olympic gods, and the son of Zeus and Hera. In literature, Ares represents the violent and physical, untamed aspect of war, which is in contrast to Athena, who represents military strategy and generalship as the goddess of intelligence. And by the way, before I go any further, all these for the Greek gods and goddesses will be on GreekGodsAndGoddesses.net/gods and then whatever god you're talking about. It's a great website, by the way. But moving on, although Ares embodied the physical aggression necessary for success in war, the Greeks were ambivalent towards him because he was dangerous, overwhelming force that was unsatiable in battle. He is also well known for being the lover of Aphrodite, who was married to Hephaestus, and though Ares played a limited role in literature, when he does appear in myths, it is typically facing humiliation. For example, some famous story of Ares and Aphrodite exposes them to ridicule by the gods when her husband Hephaestus trapped them both naked in a bed using a clever device he made. Here's some fun facts about him as well. He was most notably referred to as the god of war. He represents the unpleasant aspects of battle. He is the son of Zeus and Hermes, both of whom hated him, according to Homer. And his sacred animals that he's known for being with are dogs. And that's about it for him. So we're going to go ahead and move on to, but before we do, his Roman name actually means Mars. But we're going to go ahead and move on to Apollo. Apollo is the god of sun, the light, music, and prophecy. Apollo is one of the most complex and important gods, and is the god of many things, including music, poetry, art, oracles, archery, plague, medicine, sun, light, and knowledge. He is the son of Zeus and Titan Leto, and was born in the Greek islands of Delos, along with his older twin sister Artemis, goddess of hunt. Apollo is the ideal of the court rose, which means he has a beardless, athletic, and youthful appearance. He is also an oracular god as a patron of Delphi, and could predict prophecy through the Delphic oracle Python. Both medicine and healing are associated with Apollo, and were thought to sometimes be medicated through his son Asclepius. However, Apollo could also bring ill health and deadly plague. In addition to that, his sacred animals that he's associated with are wolves and dolphins, and his Roman name actually just means Apollo. And some 3 fun facts about him are: he is the son of Leto and Zeus. He was born in the islands of Delos. He has a twin sister named Artemis, also an Olympic, shared in altitude for anarchy. His forename is Phobos, means bright or pure, and connects him to his grandmother, the Titan Phoebe. And that's about it for him, so we're going to go ahead and move on to Hermes. Hermes is the god of trade, eloquence, and messenger of the gods. Hermes was one of the 12 Olympic gods and was the god of trade, thieves, travelers, sports, athletes, and border-crossing guide to the underworld as well. He was the second youngest Olympic god and the son of Zeus and Maia, one of the 7 Pleiades and daughters of Titan Atlantis. As the god of boundaries and transitions, Hermes was known to be quick, running, and cunning, and had the ability to freely move between the mortal and divine worlds. It is this skill that made him a luck-bringing messenger to the gods and ancestor between mortals and the divine. Some symbols that he is associated with are tortoise, lore, rooster, taurari, and caduceus. His Roman name means Mercury, and some fun facts about him is he is the son of Zeus and Maia, one of the Pleiades. He primarily served as the herald or messenger of the gods, and he was the god of shepherds, land travel, and literature. Most specifically, he was known as the patron of poetry. And with that said, we're going to go ahead and move on to Athena, which is our only goddess in this episode. She's the Greek goddess of war and wisdom. She, also referred to as Athena, is a very important goddess of many things. She is the goddess of wisdom, courage, inspiration, civilization, law and justice, strategic warfare, mathematics, strength, strategy, the arts, crafts, and skills. She is known most specifically for her statistic skill in warfare and is often portrayed as a companion of heroes and in the pantheon of goddess of heroic endeavor. Some fun facts about her: she's the goddess of war, and her counterpart is Ares. She was the daughter of Zeus. No mother bore her. She sprang from Zeus's head, full grown and clothed in armor, and she was Zeus's favorite child. And some symbols that symbolizes her are sacred animals. Sacred animals that symbolizes her pretty much is an owl. And her name means Minerva in Roman. Moving on to Hades. Hades is the Greek god of dead and king of the underworld. Hades was the god of the underworld, and the name eventually comes to also describe the home of the dead as well. He was the oldest male child of Cronus and Rhea. Hades and his brothers Zeus and Poseidon defeated their father and the Titans to end their reign, claiming rulership over the cosmos. They agreed to split their rule, with Zeus becoming god of the skies, Poseidon god of the sea, and Hades god of the underworld. Some fun facts about him is he is better known as the ruler of the underworld. It became his domain after he and his brothers drew lots of their shares of the universe. According to Iliad, Hades' domination lies between sacred places on the earth, and according to the Odyssey, one must cross ocean to get there. And some symbols that symbolizes him is Cerberus, which is a 3-headed hellhound pretty much, drinking horn, the scepter, the cypress, the Narcissus key. And his name means Pluto in Roman. And moving on to our last Greek god in this episode, which is none other than Zeus. So let's go ahead and get to it. Zeus is the god of the sky and king of the gods. Zeus was the first of the gods and a very imposing figure. Often referred to as the father of gods and men, he is the sky god who controls lightning, often using it as a weapon, and thunder, Zeus is the king of Mount Olympus and the home of the Greek gods, where he rules the world and imposes his will onto gods and mortals alike. And some fun facts about him are: he became the ruler of heaven and earth after a revolt against his father. Kronos is in his position as king of gods. Zeus had to play mediator when others of the mortals were mad at each other. He is the father of Athena, who is said to have sprung from his head. She was his favorite child, with whom he shared the thunderbolt in Aegis. Hades and Poseidon were his brothers. His name in Roman means Jupiter, and some sacred animals that he's known for symbolizing are the wolf, the eagle, and the woodpecker. And that's about it for this episode of Myth Talk. I had fun talking about some of the Greek gods, but again, there's many more, and there's much more you guys can learn about each of the Greek gods that we talked about today. But if you guys want to, you guys can definitely check out this website. Again, it is GreekGodsAndGoddesses.net. And it should take you to a page like this, and you can look up any Greek god or goddess or etc. that you want to look up. And it's a great asset to mythological creatures and etc. But next week we will be continuing our journey with the Greek gods in part 2 of the Greek Gods Myth Talks, where we'll be talking about Aphrodite, Hera, Poseidon, Demeter, and Artemis. So have a great day, peace, and thank you guys for watching.